my fellow Bostonians, or if you're not a Bostonian, then I don't care about you. Welcome to the State of the Podcast address, where we're going to be talking about how things are going, some future developments, and I'm just going to fill you with about 30 to 45 minutes of audio garbage, because I'm going on vacation this week. Actually leaving the U.S. So yeah, no time to record while I'm away, but in an attempt to maintain a consistent release schedule, I'm just gonna give you a little something. So we've made pretty big waves so far, racking up the listeners. We've gotten some good feedback, but we want to hear from you. So I vow to get more listener feedback, and this week we have set up a speak pipe with a question on it related to a Risk-style game. So I'm going to leave a link to that in the show notes. You can record a reply to me, and if we get enough responses, I'm going to answer them. All right. Yeah, so like I said, we're going to start. We're gonna talk about some developments that have happened on the podcast. As I'm sure everyone saw, Handsome Dave has made his return. Although not this week. This week it's just me. Didn't really run this episode by him. I'm sort of going outside of the guardrails here. But that's chill because I edit anyway. So fuck you, David. Yeah. You know, we've had some good guests on. We've gotten a lot of feedback. Thank you to anyone who has reached out and hit me up, telling me what you like. In some cases, what you don't like. That's all good too. One of the big things that we're always working on is the mic quality. I think a lot of people see my mic and they assume that it'll pick up their voice from like rooms away. So for any future guests, please lean into the fucking mic. You have no idea how difficult it was to edit that fucking episode with David and Bill and Mikey. That one was a fucking nightmare. Honestly, it's a miracle it went out at all. So yeah, we're gonna be trying to improve that. Maybe I'll get some more mics going or something, but otherwise, it's been fun, and I'm very appreciative to everyone who has taken time out of their sad little lives to listen to me yap. I have no direction here. This is usually what I do, but usually I have someone to just like spitball off of. So these, you know what? I'm gonna go grab a beer. That seems fitting. All right, I've returned, beer in hand. We're gonna get some creativity going. So I think it might have been Declan who said that he was eager to show people more about the man behind the mic. That's me. And yeah, I guess me and David never really did formal introductions. We just had this stupid idea to make a podcast and just kind of ran with it. So give you a little bit of background. 25. Software engineer, obviously live in Boston. I think we've covered that pretty extensively. It only gets brought up like every episode, something about like fucking Mikey sleeping in the Ashmont train station or whatever, or other random little quips we make. And as I'm sure you could probably guess, most of our guests who we've had on, appreciative as we are to all of them, Trevor, BMH, Mikey, Declan. Big shout out to Declan. That was a long episode that went out over 2 recording sessions. Anyway, as you can imagine, for any small podcast, most of the guests have just been like our buddies. It's basically just we get on here, shoot the shit. If you're listening to this, I'm sure you've listened to them. Hey, even you could be a guest if you really want, hit me up. We're always looking for more guests. You just got to be interesting, I guess. More interesting than, I don't know, me, I guess. But yeah, we'll talk about something else. I don't really know what else I want to divulge on here. I mean, I don't want to dox myself too hard. Even though I feel like 99% of the audience already knows who I am. Yeah, so we'll just talk about other stuff. I was gonna bring up hobbies because, and I know I'm gonna rattle some cages with this one. I mean, I get it. Everyone has different hobbies. It's chill. I mean, I'm a big media guy. I mean, I like movies. I like playing pool with my friends, going to the bar on the weekends, the usual stuff. Um, I have so many friends who are just a little too into golf. You know who you are if I brought that up. um, Listen, man, I've tried to play golf. I'm no good at it. Right. I even took like lessons and shit because I wanted to be a better golfer, and I think a lot of people are gonna relate to that. Uh, the whole sucking at golf thing. I think that's like most of the country. Um, just couldn't do it. Just don't have the. I'm just too fucking goofy. I don't have the fucking motor skills for it. Uh, I think the end of my golf career came when me and a few buddies were down on the Cape playing golf at somewhere on Yarmouth, and most expensive round of golf I ever paid for. Uh Probably like $75 a head. And after the front nine, well, we won't even get to the end of the front nine yet. We'll start on the first tee, shooting from the tips all the way in the back, because we all think that we're going to the show one day, but no, that wasn't us. I absolutely shanked the ball into the woods right in front of the starter, and he came over to me and he was like, actually, you need to be a 7 handicap or lower in order to shoot from the tips." Buddy, I just spent $75 at your fucking golf course. I'll shoot it out of the goddamn shack if I want to, out of the fucking starter shed. So yeah, we didn't start off too hot. Obviously my buddies are laughing at me. Um, but yeah, the round just continues. That's pretty much no pun intended, par for the course. But the round proceeds exactly how you would expect. I'm so pissed off after the front nine. I just get in my car and I drive 3 hours back home. Silent, no music, just white knuckling the steering wheel for 3 hours. I don't even know if my buddies realized I had left at first. I think they thought I was joking when I said I'm going home. And then they were texting me and they were like, "Wait, you actually left?" Yeah, I fucking left. I probably shot over 100 on the front nine. Um, I think that was actually like the day. Not a lot of people can say when they started or stopped doing something, but I remember that was the day when my my tenure in golf ended. Uh, Very understandably so, I think. So yeah, that's just one hobby that I think I've given up for good. It's just not for me. I get the appeal, but I also don't because it's just so infuriating. People who are like gluttons for punishment must just love golf when they start. um, yeah, but I'm always down to see the like super weird hobbies that people have. Whenever I'm like doom scrolling through Instagram, my new favorite one is the fucking the hobby horsing, where the chicks like or I guess they don't have to be chicks. The people get those like little toy horses, like the horse head on a stick or whatever, and they perform in like equestrian events, but with their like fake horse. So it's just them like hurdling over big fucking barricades and stuff. Um and no disrespect to our hobby horsers out there, but it's like you're the athletic equivalent of a furry, basically. um, yeah, and I think there's even an argument to be made that just being a furry is more respectable than being a hobby horser because at least you're not lying about what you are. um, that's kind of it's not something I ever thought I would say. Being a furry is more respectable than something, but I've always been of the opinion, if it doesn't hurt me, then do as you will. Just stay away stay away from my fucking dog. Yeah. But there's other things out there that just have never made sense to me. Like some people's brains are not so fucking rotted that they can just like sit in the fucking park with a like an iced coffee and like read a book. I've tried to read like at the beach and stuff. Like I'll pick up some like light reading. I know I've brought up Lovecraft like in several episodes. To be honest, I haven't read an HP Lovecraft book in quite a while because I just don't think I have the focus power to do it. Um, Especially something like that so fucking dense. Uh, but I just get bored. My mind tends to wander, and then I'm next thing I know I'm doing something else, something a little more titillating than just sitting and fucking reading, even like at the beach. Like I'm so sad that as an adult, it's not acceptable to bring like fucking beach toys to the beach. Cause like I was at the beach for 4th of July with some buddies last weekend, and it's like, dude, there's like 6 dudes here, and I'm just thinking to myself, what kind of fucking sandcastle could we build? Except that we don't have any fucking like we don't have the scoopers, we don't have the fucking buckets, we got nothing. So the only thing you can do all day to keep yourself busy is just drink, which is fine, but it would have been a lot more exciting if we could have built the sandcastle. And the people next to us, those fucking geniuses, they brought like a fucking RC truck. Like it was like a little not like a pickup truck, it was like a fucking god, more like a dump truck, but less industrial. Larger than a pickup truck, smaller than a dump truck. You figure out what I'm talking about. Uh and they were using it all day to chase the fucking seagulls, and I was like, that's such wasted potential, right? Like I was hoping that the guy would have the because it's the 4th of July, I was hoping he would have the onions to drive it over to me and the boys and request a couple of cold ones, but he didn't. But if I could get into something, I saw these dudes a while ago on Instagram who have a giant fucking sandbox like in their basement, and they have like all the RC like fuck, what do you call them? Like the construction vehicles, and they would like bury drinks in the sand, and they would use the construction vehicles to dig out drinks and like deliver them to each other. I was like, this is the sickest thing in the world. How is this not more like if I ever owned a basement, if I when I own a house with a basement, because obviously I'm apartment living, uh I'm fucking doing that. I'm gonna get the boys around, get a fucking sandbox with some shit in it, and just dig up beers all day, I guess. Just absolutely rotting, but whatever. It's like that fucking episode of the Big Les show where he has this God, what does he call it? It's fucking Glen World. I miss shit like that though. The like early 2000s TV show. I guess that wasn't a like real TV show. It was just like some shows this Australian dude was making on YouTube. For those of you who don't know what the Big Les show is, which I'm actually guessing is probably most of you. But dude, I mean, I grew up on like the early 2000s TV, like the fucking Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Ed, and Eddie. I mean, I fucking loved Ed, and Eddie. I feel like if I could relate to anyone the hardest, it was probably the plank kid, the kid with the plank. Um, he was always a G. People just kept fucking with his homeboy Plank, which was a little fucked up. Um, but I mean, yeah, dude, that was like my fucking bread and butter. They don't make shit like that anymore. Like even the new SpongeBob in comparison to like early SpongeBob fucking sucks, dude. Just doesn't hit the same at all. All right, I had ended last night bitching about how I was out of time or whatever. But I changed my mind and I deleted the sorry ass ending that I made I'm gonna keep this going. You know, talking to yourself is kind of hard. I bet all my neighbors think I'm going through like a psychotic episode or something. Um, I listened back to the first half before I picked this back up, and yeah, it's a lot of like rambling. I guess I kind of do that anyway. Yeah. Well, it's about 11:45. I gotta leave for the airport in a few hours, but I decided, nah, fuck it. We're gonna sit down. We're gonna make this a little longer. Don't want this to be like a 15-minute episode. I know in the first episode I got really on this those two girls' case about dropping the like 7-minute podcast or whatever, and that's just not us. So I'm back, round two, more motivated than ever. Been up since like 5 in the morning. Had to go to work early today, which uh absolutely sucked. As someone who's not a morning person, and I really just can't stand morning people. Usually, um, something about being up that early just feels unnatural. Like when you're getting up before the fucking sun is even up. It's like, what's the point? What are you gonna do? You gonna sit there in the dark and drink a coffee? No, go back to bed. While I'm here, given the state of the podcast address, uh, I just want to bring up how embarrassed I am of the last episode that I put out with Trevor. Um, Shame on me for the moon landing thing. I didn't think Trevor was gonna do his homework, but he did. And David texted me afterwards, and he was like, "You got cooked in the moon landing debate by Trevor." And I'm gonna get this is one of those hills I'll die on. Me and Trevor talk about this every time we hang out about the moon landing. And you know what? Good for Trevor. He did his homework. I did not have too many answers for him. Um, I consider myself a bit of a learned fellow, but at the same time, I'm also kind of stupid. And yeah, that was a bad look for all of us moon landing believers out there. So I have to apologize for that. Um, I do love a good conspiracy theory, though. I brought up that Jesse Ventura show with all the conspiracy theories, and I'm actually really sad that I didn't get to go into like all the really goofy ones that he does. One of my personal favorites is the Illuminati living out in the Ozarks. This dude believes that there's a mansion out in the Ozarks somewhere where the Illuminati just sort of lives and hangs out. Like all the most powerful people in the world just have like one fucking house in the middle of nowhere in the woods. I think that's a really really silly concept. Just the cabal of the U.S. just roughing it out in the middle of nowhere. Um, Sort of like what I would imagine that TV show Ozark is about. I don't know. I've never seen it. But like, some of the other there's are actually like good ones that I think are worth talking about. The JFK one. I mean, that was probably I think it was almost certainly a conspiracy. I don't know if my boy Lee Harvey Oswald did it. Or maybe not my boy, but I don't know if Lee Harvey Oswald did it. I don't he didn't strike me as a guy who was pissed off enough to do it. And then Jack Ruby casually happens to just kill him before they can get any answers. That reeks to me of conspiracy. Um, and him of all people to shoot the guy who allegedly shot JFK. What was he? He was like a strip club owner or something. That dude doesn't give a fuck about politics, or yeah, I don't know. Different time, maybe. Again, what do I know? Um, but one more conspiracy Jesse Ventura does. I promise this is just his segue. He does the like lizard people one, where there's people who believe that there are what do they call them? Lizard shape shifting humanoids who live among us. Just pretending to be humans. But I think that's a great segue into one of my favorite local conspiracy theories. That the Jimmy John's in Seaport is actually run by a cabal of reptilians. I don't even remember where it started, but I keep seeing it everywhere online. That the and you know what? That's my local Jimmy John's. I've ordered a sandwich or two from there. Tasted just fine. Didn't seem very reptilian to me, but uh, that's a good local one that some people definitely probably don't believe in, but it's a bit silly. I think it came from some like popular video online of some dude who's trying to get Seth Moulton, who's like the congressman of what is it, Suffolk County or something, to do something about the cabal of lizard people running the Jimmy Johns in Seaport. Um, to my knowledge, he has not responded to the allegations yet. Okay, after further research, first off, Seth Moulton is not even the congressman from from the Suffolk County. He's like more like a Middlesex, Essex County guy, which is funny because the other point I was wrong on is that the Jimmy John's in question is not actually in Seaport. It's not even in Boston. Or it's in Boston. It's in East Boston. It's in the airport. Um, so hey, maybe I'll go there later today. But they're asking this congressman who about something that's not even in his district. And the conspiracy actually goes further. It's not just that the Jimmy Johns is being run by what they call a Nephilim cabal. It's that this Nephilim cabal is exporting Jimmy John's Kickin' Ranch sauce to some congressman in Arizona so that he can bathe in it and get rid of his like visible signs of aging. Um I, I don't know what else to say about that. It's a little more bizarre than I had previously thought it was. So I think we're just gonna leave it at that. You decide for yourself next time you're at the airport. Go to the Jimmy John's there, and yeah, look out for lizard people. Okay. Moving on from the conspiracy theory thing. I don't want to rehash. I don't want to just rehash bits that I've already done in other episodes. I just wanted to bring up the moon landing thing because I thought it was funny that I got cooked there. But we did have a long time listener. What is that? About a month now. He's been listening to us for about a month. Who requested a topic? What up, Kyle? Yeah, Kyle wants me to talk about Drake May. So you know what? Fuck it. Why not? Give it, someone had a topic in mind. So you know what? Why don't I just spitball on this one? I don't even know if David's a Patriots fan anyway, so he might not have a strong opinion on Drake May. Yeah, I think Drake May has really shown some potential at the end of last season. I mean, he's better than fucking sucker Mac Jones. That guy fucking sucked. Me and my cousin used to get in little debates all the time about how he thought Mac Jones was better than Bailey Zappi. I was always saying the Pats should just give Bailey Zappi a chance. I think we were both wrong there. Wrong on both accounts. I think they're equally trash. Maybe Zappi didn't really get a fair shake, but okay. All that to say that I'm very delighted to see Drake May doing big things. Now that the Pats have actually bolstered their offense a little bit and didn't just continue dumping money into their defense, I think we're gonna have a strong outing this season. I'm loving the potential of having Stephon Diggs in there too. I'm glad they got him a veteran wide receiver who could probably get open. Because Jalen Polk is a fucking bum, despite saying that he's probably the best receiver. He's not even the best receiver on the Pats, right? He can't be sitting there saying he's the best receiver in the league. And especially now that he's got some protection from Will Campbell, I think the Pats have great upside this season. Hell, I may even bet on them. Generally I don't bet on sports because I don't like betting on things I have no control over. But I think we're really stringing together a strong offense. Drake May, also a stand-up guy. I saw he just got married, and him and his wife, I guess, donated all of their wedding gifts to the homeless or to charity or something. Don't think they're out there on the street just handing out toaster ovens, but I think that's a class act. I could get behind that. So many people are just up in arms about it I've been seeing shit online where people are like, "Oh, well, all these people went out and shopped specifically for him and his wife, and they just gave it away." Dude, he's a fucking millionaire. There's nothing that you can buy him that he can't buy better himself, unless all of his friends and family are like also millionaires. And like I get the sentiment that they should have just kept all the wedding gifts or whatever, but I don't know. Sorry for trying to do something nice, right? But everyone's got an opinion. Opinions are like assholes. They all stink. um I know I just gave some pretty vanilla takes on the Pats. I don't know what else to say. I'm not really a sports analyst. I'm more of a I will say, of all the sports, I definitely care about the NFL the most. Just because I have the most riding on it. Me and my buddies are big fantasy football players, and for all you fantasy players out there, I'm sure you know that the highlight of the season is never the league championship. It's the league toilet bowl. Nobody gives a fuck about the league championship. It's just, we get it. You watched football, you got lucky, you drafted a decent team. I mean, hey, I've seen guys who will not even show up for the draft go to the championship team. Looking at you, fuck you, Gumby. And but the toilet bowl, it takes a real next level of apathy to get there. Or maybe it's not apathy. Maybe it's just that you make a lot of bad roster moves. There's an art to it. And then at the end of it all, you have a punishment for someone to do for being so fucking apathetic about watching ball and making smart rosters. Me personally, I consider myself a great fantasy manager. I'm sure plenty of people will have something to say about that. I've got at least one title under my belt. Never been to the toilet bowl, and that's all well and good, but the adrenaline rush that I would imagine you get from being in that toilet bowl has got to be astounding. Bet you're just like sweating off pounds by the minute there. And especially when the punishment is something like really nobody wants to do. I've been pitching every year there's always a big debate about what the fantasy punishment should be. And the one that I've been trying to get people to get behind for so long that nobody will ever get behind is the you get one of those kits to make a mold of your own dick, and then you have to post a selfie of it in your mouth. Just like an astounding punishment for anyone who has no idea what this is about to see. I've always been a big fan of stuff like that. Like, it's easy. It takes a minute. You just have to get it over with, and then it's done. The one this year, I would be a little less thrilled about. As to my little bit earlier about golf, this year is that you had to be a caddy for the winner of the league, and you have to drink a beer per hole, and then I guess you can't leave the course until you either birdie or par the 18th. If you remember what I said about me as a golfer, dude, I don't know if I would ever leave that golf course. I think I would be sleeping on the green for real. That's a good one. I've heard a lot of other good ones. I've always also been a big fan of the calendar one, where everyone in the league gets to take a month, and you have to recreate like whatever pose they say and make like a little calendar of it. It sounds wicked gay, but it's just funny, I promise. Yeah, so looking forward to this fantasy season. Anyway, we'll see if last year's loser actually does the punishment. The effort on the punishments has just been declining year after year, which I guess makes sense. Everyone lives in different cities. It's a little harder to get around and stuff. But, I mean, we all live for it. Everybody loves to watch the fantasy punishment. All right. It's getting to about 12:30. I still have to edit this. So I think this time I am actually out of time. Hey, we made it to about the 30 minute mark there, though. I hope you enjoy this episode. Uh, I know I've said it before that the goal is to sell out via audio garbage. I think we're really pushing the limits of that with this one. Just me yapping to myself. God, this has been tough. I don't know if I'll do this again. If I'll make another solo episode. Um, God, it's a good thing I can stand the sound of my own voice. But yeah, so like I said at the beginning, I'm gonna leave a link to the speak pipe in the description. And the question is, if you were to take part in a risk style conflict, what would your ultimate conquest be? Where would you start from, and why to both of those? So leave us your responses. And yeah, if we get, I don't know, I'll say if we get at least like 3, 4, 5 responses, me and Handsome Dave will take a look at them. So catch you guys in a few weeks. Peace.